What's up? This is Steve helping you find your creative flow. Today, what I want to talk to you about is how to hook up your DSLR camera to your computer for Facebook live streaming. Now, this is going to work for both the Windows and Mac platforms. So if you want to look at the description below for links to where in this video you're going to find instructions for both Mac and Windows 10, then check out the link and so you can jump to that point in the video. Now, if you kind of want some quick information here, I'm going to give you the TLDR version of this video. For those of you who don't know, TLDR, too long, didn't read. Here's the summary. In order to make this work, you're going to need a couple pieces of software. The first piece is the Canon EOS Utility. That's the software that comes with your camera, or again, you can download it from the Canon website. You'll also need the Open Broadcast software, or the OBS software. That's going to let you live stream from your computer, from your camera to your computer, and then ultimately to Facebook. You're going to install both pieces of software. You're then going to hook up the Canon camera to your computer. You're going to open the EOS utility in the OBS. You're going to set up the stream and you're going to go live. Very simple, very straightforward. So let's dive into it. For those of you who stick around for the whole video, I'm going to give you a bonus at the end of the video. So stick around for that. It's going to help you get up and running even quicker than watching this video. Now, one thing about hooking up your DSLR camera to your computer for Facebook live streaming is don't get too hung up on quality of your videos. If you're not going to be in a production mode, or if your business model isn't really production, video production, audio production, then a DSLR camera might be overkill, and it's definitely not going to help you start the quickest or the easiest. I was thinking this would be more for photographers or videographers who don't quite know how to hook up and use their Canon DSLR as a live streaming device. This is for them. If you're looking to just get started and get your YouTube channel ready, and up and running, then your smartphone or your webcam is going to do just fine. So don't take this as you need a DSLR for your Facebook live streams. This is a nice tool for to make a good, crisp, clear picture, and definitely not for everybody if you want to just get up and get started right away. Another thing I want to point out before we get into this is some of the tutorials you'll find online say that you need the disc in order to set up the Canon software to control your camera from your computer. Now, there is a way around this for both Mac and Windows 10, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, but you don't absolutely need the software that came with your disc. It makes it a little easier, but if you don't have the disc, there's a little bit more of a technical way around having the disc that lets you get up and running. So we'll cover that in this video. Now, I want to point out that I did have some issues actually hooking the DSLR up to my Macintosh computer, my MacBook Pro. I'm currently running El Capitan 10.11.6. And when I went to hook up the DSLR, there was a problem with installing the software. Not from the disk. The update from the internet didn't work quite on El Capitan as it should, and it has on other operating systems for other Mac users. Now I'm going to show you how to do it for a working version of the Mac operating system, but I'll also put a link in the description for which part of the installation process I was having trouble with to maybe spark a discussion, see if anybody else is having trouble, or if you're having the same issue with that. Installing it on Windows 10, really straightforward, no issues. I was able to run the software and get up and running relatively quickly. And people have been able to get up and running relatively quickly with other versions of the Mac operating system. It must be something with the 10.11.6 version of El Capitan that just isn't letting me install it. Something's going on funky with the installation process. So again, I'll show you guys what's going on, and hopefully somebody's got a workaround for it. All right, now let's get started. So what we're going to do now is install the Canon EOS utility, first from disk if you have the disc that came with your camera, and then if you don't have the disc that came with your camera, we're going to show you how to do it without the disc. First thing you want to do if you have the disc is insert the disc into your computer. An icon should show up on your desktop of the disc. So if you double click that, you'll get another pop-up, and then you'll double click the Canon EOS Digital Installer. This is a very simple guide on installing the EOS utility. You'll select the country or region that you live in, select it a second time, and then click Install. When it asks if you want easy installation or custom installation, select custom to get more control over actually what you're putting on your computer. Read through the agreement, and then if you agree, click agree. If you don't, then click disagree and leave this tutorial. You'll then deselect everything except for the EOS utility. You can play with the other software at any point that you would like, but in order to get this to work, all you need is the EOS utility. This is a summary screen, and after this, we'll click Next, and the software is going to install itself. After it runs through the installation, it'll say, actually it'll ask you to register this program. You don't want to register this image gateway. It's separate from the EOS utility. So click the No I Will Register Later button, then click Next and click OK to the pop-up. Now, in my case, I already had the EOS utility installed, so it said already installed. Yours will say installed successfully or completed installation, something like that. Then you'll click Finish. And that's all you do to get the EOS utility onto your laptop using the installation disk. Now, if you want the most updated version for whatever version of the Mac operating system you're running, you want to go over to the Canon website, and I will give you a link in the description below on where to actually go to find this page. But on the left-hand side under EOS models, you want to click the version of Canon camera that you have. In my case, I have the EOS Rebel T3i or the 600D. Now the page is going to load that's specific to your camera, and under the drivers and downloads section of the page, you'll see the operating system that it selected is hopefully your operating system that you're currently running. It successfully detected the El Capitan version 10.11 for me. For you, it may be a different version of the Mac operating system. So down below, you'll see the EOS Utility 2.14.20 Updater. This is the latest updater for this driver. We're going to click Select on the right-hand side and then click Download. This is going to download the software from the internet, and once it's done, we're going to click on this arrow on the right-hand side, and we'll click Show in Finder, and we'll wait for the blue dot over there to finish. There we go. Click Show in Finder. This is going to open a Finder window, and it's going to show you the software that you just downloaded. So what I actually want you to do is take this from your Downloads folder and throw it on the desktop. This just makes it easier to manage. So once I double-click this zip folder, it's going to actually extract the zip folder and put the contents onto my desktop. So we'll see that in that zip folder we had this DMG file. We'll double click that. Now if you're familiar with Windows computers, this is basically an executable or .exe file that you'd have on, say, Windows 10. So we see this installation here. If I double click it, it's going to open up and run through the installation process pretty much similarly to what we just did for installing the software from disk. If this comes up and says, you know, we need to search your computer to find the CD, click Start CD Search. It'll locate the CD and it'll install the software. You just follow the steps. Very easy, very basic. So what do you do if you don't have the original Canon installation disk and you're trying to install this on Mac? Well, you'll still want to download the updater as I just showed you in a previous step. But instead of double-clicking this file right here, you're going to drag that to the desktop. Once it's on your desktop, right-click it and click Show Package Contents. There's a specific file in these folders that we're going to want to remove to let the computer think that we actually have the original installation disk. Once the folder's open, click Contents, double-click Resources, then this info.datx file. You're going to move that to the trash. Then you can close the Resources folder and double-click this installer file. Now, it's actually going to install this piece of software just like we saw it installed it when we had the Canon disk in the computer. Like I said, this doesn't work for me for my El Capitan 10.11.6 version of the Mac operating system. Even if I click Open, it just doesn't seem to work. However, if you do have a different Mac operating system other than 10.11.6 El Capitan, this will work for you. And if not, there are tutorials on YouTube that'll get you to where this is actually up and running for you. At this point, the only other piece of software that you need to install is the OBS Studio. So if we go to obsproject.com/download, we're going to get the Open Broadcaster Software download page. It should automatically select your operating system, but if it doesn't, make sure you select the Apple icon in the middle, then click Download for Mac, and the download of the installer is going to begin momentarily. There we go. Once the download finishes, we can click on the OBS installer.dmg. Click on the OBS package, double click on it. This is going to begin the installation process. So once this pop-up screen comes up, click on the Continue button, read through the important information, then click Continue. If you want to change the installation location, you can click the Change Install Location button. Otherwise, click Install. Enter your password if asked for it, and the OBS software is going to start installing. You'll see on the screen that the installation was successful. Once it's completed successfully, then you can click close and the OBS software is installed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to prepare the computer and the camera equipment for the live stream. Before we run each live stream, we want to make sure that the EOS utility and OBS are closed to make sure that the settings reset and everything's ready and fresh for the next live stream. Then you'll connect your DSLR camera to your computer with the USB cable and turn the camera to video mode. Now you're ready to set up the live stream on your Facebook profile or page. Now on my version of El Capitan, this is where I had errors. I'm going to put a link in the description below for the video on what the error looks like and when it's coming up in the installation process. But I want to cut now to a video from Reef Bum YouTube channel and show you how they complete this installation. First, at the top of the page, click the Publishing Tools button. Then on the left-hand side, click the Video button. Up at the top, you'll see the plus Live button. Click that. Now highlight and copy the Stream key. This is very important. What we're going to do now is open up OBS. We're going to click on Settings. We're going to click on the Stream menu and paste in the Stream key. We're going to select Facebook Live as the service. Now optionally, you can set the following values on the video menu. For base resolution, you can set it to 2560 by 1440, the output resolution to 1920 by 1080, downscale filter can be set to bicubic, and common FPS values can be set to 30. Click the OK button, then click the Start Streaming button. Now you're not streaming to Facebook Live yet, this is just setting up the OBS studio. You can also resize the video on this page by dragging the red bounding box and resizing it to fit your video. Now, back on your Facebook page, the live stream window should still be open, so here click the next button. Now what Facebook is going to do is actually going to go and fetch your live stream video that's broadcasting from OBS. Now this is not a live stream of your video just yet, this is simply a preview. You haven't gone live yet and you won't go until you hit the Go Live button. So here you can fill in the description, the video title, and the video tags to whatever you like. One additional tip is you want to turn down the volume on your computer speakers in order to prevent feedback. But it's important that you don't go all the way so the volume is muted. You want to have at least 1 bar of audio present. So again, don't mute your audio here. Have 1 bar of audio. If it's any louder, you're going to get some nasty feedback and it's going to ruin your live stream. Once that's all set, you'll click the Go Live button and now you're live. As you can see, it's a very simple process. There's just a few steps involved in getting this to work. So that was the Mac version of the setup, and you can skip to the end of the video. I've put a bookmark in the description below so you can click to that to get your secret bonus for sticking around and watching the whole video. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to set up the Canon EOS utility on your Windows 10 computer and also the OBS software so that you can set up your Facebook live stream from your Windows computer. So if you have the installation disk that came with your Canon camera, you can insert that into your computer. Then click the Start menu and click the File Explorer icon. You'll scroll down in this list right here to see where your hard drives are and your disk drives, and you'll click on the Canon CD, and then you'll double click Setup. Now any security prompts that come up you're going to want to hit yes to, and then once you hit yes it will begin the installation process. Select the region that you belong to, select your country, click Next, select your language. Then you're going to select Custom Installation. Click OK at the pop-up. In this list here, you'll deselect everything except for the EOS utility. Make sure you scroll down and uncheck all the boxes. The installation folder will automatically set. You can customize this if you'd like, and then click Next. Software to be installed is the EOS utility, and then click Install. Scroll through the license agreement, and only if you agree, click the Yes button to proceed to the next steps. It's going to start the installation, and pretty soon this part of the process will be complete. In my case, it said already installed since the EOS utility was already on my computer. Yours may say installed successfully or completed successfully, something along those lines. Click the Next button, If it asks you to register Canon Image Gateway, select no, I'll register later, and then click next. Click OK at the pop-up, and then click Finish. Perfect. So you've installed the Canon EOS utility. Now the next thing you can do is go to Canon's website. I'm going to go one page back here. And I'm going to give you a link in the description below. This is where you can download the drivers for your Canon camera for your computer so that your computer and your camera can talk to each other. Now, I'm going to click the EOS Rebel T3i right here. It's going to load the page with all the necessary downloads for my camera and my computer. So, under drivers and downloads, by operating system, it should automatically detect, and it did, your operating system. If it didn't select the right one, click this drop-down menu and select the operating system that you're working with. Now, underneath, you're going to select the EOS Utility Updater for Windows. Click the select button on the far right and then click Download. Now, I'm going to cancel my download because I actually already have the EOS Utility already downloaded. I'm going to double-click the zip folder that it came in. You can extract the folder if you'd like and then double-click from there. And then ultimately, we're going to double-click and run the EUW Updater for our computer. Like I said, you may need to unzip the file that came right from Canon. In my case, I already unzipped it, and it was waiting for me to use. So what this is the updater file that will update the outdated software that came with your camera's CD and give you the latest, greatest for your operating system. Click on your country, your region, and then your country. Click Next, and then click your language. Click OK at the pop-up. Software to be installed, it's going to do the EOS utility and automatically going to do the lend registration tool and the web service registration tool. You can click Install, read through the license agreement, and only if you agree, click Yes. It'll start the installation. Any security pop-ups that come up, you can click Yes. In my case, I already had those pieces of software installed, so it says already installed. Yours will say successfully completed. Click Next, and then click Finish. So what you've done is you've installed the software from your CD that came with your camera, and then you downloaded a driver from Canon's website and installed that to your computer as well. So you have the most up-to-date Canon driver for your operating system. The next thing you got to do is install the OBS software, Open Broadcast System software. This is going to allow you to set up your live stream for Facebook. So what we're going to do, I already have it downloaded here, but the steps to do that are, I'll give you a link in the description below, but obsproject.com/download. Once you go to that page, it should automatically detect which operating system you're working with. If it didn't, you can select the appropriate one, and then click Download Installer. This will automatically download the installation file to your computer. I'm going to click Cancel. You don't want to do this. I already have the software downloaded. OBS Studio. I'm going to double-click that piece of software. I'm going to double-click that installation file. For the security pop-up, you want to click Yes. Now the wizard's going to run you through the installation. On this first screen here, we'll click Yes. I agree. If you want to set a different destination, you can. Otherwise, the default is good. Click Next. And then on this screen here, the only checks that I have are the under plugins, I have browser plugin. I don't see any other need for this plugin, so I skip that and then click Install. And the installation will begin. Once it's done installing, you'll get this confirmation screen that it completed successfully, or if it didn't, unsuccessfully. You can click to run the OBS software, but we're actually going to uncheck that and click Finish. We don't want to run it right away. Now, what happens if you don't have the installation disk that came with your Canon camera? There is a way around this, and in order to do that, you want to actually download that same file that we just downloaded from Canon's website, so the EOS Utility Updater. You'll click Select, and then you'll click Download. Click on the search bar in the Start menu, and then type in regedit, regedit.exe. This little cube graphic will come up. You want to click regedit.exe. It underneath says Run Command. You'll run this. Any security pop-ups, you say yes. Once it loads the registry editor, you want to drill down to HKey local machine then software, then WOW 6432 node, then Canon. If you do not have the Canon folder, you want to create a new folder by right-clicking the WOW node, clicking New, and then clicking Key. Once it creates a key, you want to rename the key or the folder, as it'll appear over here as a folder icon. Name it Canon. Similarly, on the Canon folder, after you've created it and renamed it, you'll right-click Canon, click New, click Key, and you'll create a folder called EOS Utility. Now you can close the registry editor. We want to go back to our updater that we downloaded, double-click it. Now remember, we don't have the Canon CD in our computer anymore, but it's going to extract these files after we click on the updater, and it's going to think that we have the CD in our computer when in actuality we don't. Now you can install the Canon software just as I showed you in a previous step. Select your country or region, then select your country, your language, and run through the installation process. Once you have all the software installed, it's now time to prepare your computer and your camera for the live stream. You want to make sure that each time you live stream that the EOS Utility and OBS software are closed. Next, connect your DSLR camera to your computer with the USB cable and turn the camera to video mode. Now we're going to set up the live stream on our Facebook page or profile. Once your page is loaded, click on Publishing Tools at the top. On the left-hand side, click on Videos. Next, click on the plus Live button. You want to grab the stream key from this page, so click it, then right-click and click Copy. Next, open up the OBS software. Once it loads, you'll click on Settings in the bottom right of the window. On the Stream menu, enter your stream key that we just copied. If there's something there, you can highlight the entire string, right-click and click Paste, and it'll remove the old stream key and put in the new one. Make sure that Facebook Live is selected as the service. On the video menu, I'm going to recommend a couple settings for each of these boxes. So for the base resolution, set that to 2560 by 1440. For the output resolution, enter 1920 by 1080. For the downscale filter, make sure bicubic is selected, and for common FPS values, select 30. Click the OK button. Now, if you did it right, you should see a video in this screen right here. You can resize the video by dragging the red bounding box and resizing it to fit the frame. Then click Start Streaming. Then, back on your Facebook page, select the Next button, and Facebook is going to fetch your live video feed. You can add a description, video title, and video tags here. Remember, this is not the live stream, this is just a preview. Facebook won't go live until you click the Go Live button. So after you've set a description and video title and video tags, you can click the Go Live button and you're live. So that's really all you need to do in order to set up Facebook live streaming with your DSLR on your Windows 10 computer. Alright, so now you've seen how to set up your DSLR camera, your Canon DSLR camera for your Facebook live stream. Now, if you want a step-by-step procedure on how to do this so that you can pull it out any time and just follow the steps, boom, 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 to get started, go to my website. I'll put a link in the description below, and you can download a Mac version and a Windows version of this tutorial, written procedure document, and then again, it's just a step-by-step procedure for you to get started very, very quickly, and the process will be the same every time. Again, link is in the description. Thanks for sticking around, and that's my bonus for you. Anyway, like this video if you like it, keep the creative juices flowing by subscribing to this channel. Remember, I produce content regularly for this channel to keep your skills sharp. Don't forget to head on over to my website where you can download the step-by-step procedure for hooking up your DSLR camera to your computer for Facebook live streaming. As always, thank you for watching. Now, I want you to focus, take this information, and go do something productive.